Hi, I'm David Johnson, and this is Verse by Verse. In a recent graduation address, Apple computer co-founder Steve Wozniak told the graduates, "All of you have AI, actual intelligence." He went on saying, "My entire life in the technical world, I've been following people who were trying to figure out how to make a brain. And I was at a company where the engineers figured out how to make a brain. It takes 9 months." Like many before him, Mr. Wozniak has come to appreciate what a magnificent creation the human brain actually is. The more we study the brain and its functioning, the more amazed we become. History has shown us that this unrivaled piece of human hardware can be used to develop a variety of beautiful and life-changing creations. Sadly, it can also be utilized to produce unprecedented, almost unimaginable evil. But the potential for producing good or evil is not limited to great minds. Depending upon how we choose to use our minds, all of us are fully capable of causing life to be more pleasant or more painful for ourselves and those around us. We all arrive in this life with a fresh, clean, inquisitive mind. Certain personality traits seem to be uniquely inborn to each individual, but personal standards of morality are not inherent. They must be learned. While our experiences can deeply influence our thinking, we do not remain helpless victims of our environment. As we mature, the choices we make shape the mind. We have the power to decide what kind of person we will be. Quite a number of years ago, as I was nearing high school graduation, I heard a short bit of advice from a minister whom I respected. In the years since, I have tried to follow his advice, not always perfectly, but I still believe it was some of the best advice I ever received. He said, "You need to set a guard before the door of your mind." By design, the brain is the most heavily protected part of our bodies. But physical protection is not enough. We must likewise protect our minds from anything that could harm our ability to think in the right way. Setting a guard before the door of your mind implies that there are thoughts, ideas, attitudes that we must consciously choose to exclude from our thinking. And that leads us to our verse for this episode. It's found in the very practical section of the Apostle Paul's epistle to the Roman Christians. Romans 12:9. "Let love be without hypocrisy. Abhor what is evil, cling to what's good." Let's briefly consider the last two clauses of that verse. 9 words in English. Abhor what is evil, cling to what is good. Abhor is a strong word in English, and the original Greek word is equally strong. We're not told that we should avoid evil things as much as we can. We are to be repulsed by evil. We are told that whenever we encounter evil, it should cause us to view it with revulsion. That's not easy to consistently do in a world that packages evil in appealing ways. God inspired the prophet Isaiah to write, "Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." Many people are functionally blind when it comes to figuring out what is evil and what is not, because they fail to utilize the tools God gives us. In a sense, Scripture is the lens we can use to enable us to see good and evil through God's eyes and not be deceived by outward appearances. And once we have identified evil, the word abhor tells us we must make every effort to keep it out of our minds and lives. At the same time, the lens of Scripture reveals what is good and what needs to be protected and reinforced in our lives. We are told to cling to what is good, as if we were hanging on to a treasure. Clinging to the good is not a passive action. It requires as much effort as rejecting the evil. A few years ago, my wife and I visited the tomb of the unknown soldier at Arlington National Cemetery. The diligence of those who serve as honor guards at that tomb is legendary. Their orders are clear, and they are known for doing whatever is necessary to preserve the sanctity of that shrine. Likewise, when we set a guard before the door of our mind, our orders must be clear and unmistakable. Keep out whatever God shows to be evil. Protect what he shows to be good. The mind is a sacred gift from God, and it deserves to be defended from every danger. Would you like help in discovering what God sees as good and evil? The Learning Center at the Life, Hope, and Truth website is a great place to begin. You'll find a link in the show notes.
Verse by Verse is a Life, Hope, and Truth podcast. Check out the show notes to find more free content, like videos, articles, and booklets in our Learning Center.